Alright, and with that, we are ready for our first run. And we are going to be watching The Last Guardian Bad Ending with SableDragonRook. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Hi everybody, I am SableDragonRook. You can call me Sable, pronouns she, any, use whatever you like. So we are going to be running The Last Guardian. I'm kind of notorious for this game, but this will be the first time that Bad Ending is being run in a marathon. This is very exciting. Not so much for Trico, but for us. So I'm not going to keep us here. Timing is going to start as soon as I hit yes on this new game prompt. So we're going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, skipping cutscenes. We'll get right into this. How are y'all doing today? Also, of course, we've got Mort over on camera. He's a little more active today than he was for my run previous in the week with Really Really Longathon. Hi, Trico! He's got a spear in him. Let's yoink that out. Hey, pause timer. That just means that I'm on greater world record pace, okay? We don't need to worry about it. I hope you're all doing good today. We have a wonderful incentive throughout this game to pet Trico. We've already received 2 pets. They are $10 each, going to a good cause, of course, and that's repeatable many, many times, so we can give Trico many, many pets throughout this run. I will be doing that as soon as we unchain him from the floor. He's a little preoccupied at the moment. But the purpose of this run, since nobody has really ever seen Bad Ending before, normally, of course, we go through this game and we're good friends with Trico. We try to escape this place that we're in that we don't know how we got here. And that's, you know, a 3.5 hour run to go on our full quest with Trico. But sometimes you just don't have time for that. So today we're going to be taking Trico to the first opportunity that he has to try to really save me. Where did his barrel go? There it is. And then he's gonna need my help, and we're gonna maybe not help him. It's a shorter category. We still love Trico, of course. But you'll see when we get there. But in the meantime, we'll give him many, many pets, I hope. As a form of preemptive apology. But for now, I need this giant chicken dog to trust me. And so I'm giving him snacks. As you do, you know. Beautiful, beautiful. He's eaten 3. 3 snacks is the correct number of snacks to make a giant chicken dog trust you for life. So now I can climb on him and everything's great. I'm gonna take the spear out of his shoulder. He's not gonna be a big fan. And off we go. My second concussion in less than 5 minutes. So now, we're gonna wake up. My controller is shaking because I've completed the game too fast. It'll catch up. Trico's gonna be friendly towards us. We're gonna wake up, and that's gonna be my first opportunity to pet Trico with one of the 2 outstanding pets that we have. Hi, buddy.
Mort looks a little sleepy.
Mort is always so sleepy. He's just living his best life, you know? Hi, Treeks. He's even got his little badge. You can see he's got like a little necklace. He gets to keep that for as long as he's good. If he starts to be a bad boy, I'm gonna take it away. Hey, buddy. Come here. He's got to take a minute. He's gonna scratch off his helmet. He's gonna shake off this like piece of armor that he was wearing. Hey, buddy. Come here. Yeah. Gotta give Trico a good pet. And this is the only point in the game where we can get the boy to say, "Pleased to meet you, Trico." So that's a very special pet that we only get to do when people donate before the run starts. So thank you for that. Alright, so Trico's gonna be following us in here. I'm gonna, you know, fail to do this trick because that's just how this goes. Really hard to get this ledge jump. Most runners don't get it at all, so like, it's expected. More of a nice bonus if you do get it kind of thing. You just don't have to wait for Trico to come into this room. If you can hook yourself up onto that ledge yourself. Saves, it kind of depends, between 10 and 20 seconds. Alright, off we go. So, throughout this run, we're going to be restarting checkpoints fairly often. Because they're usually going to teleport us or do something else that's favorable. In that case, it was faster to reset the checkpoint and end up at the end of that tunnel than it was to just climb all the way through the tunnel. That just happens to be how that specific checkpoint works. And we've got this mirror, shield, whatever you'd like to call it. The game obviously calls it a mirror because we're going to be seeing these hints on our screen for the rest of the game. They literally never stop. And those call it a mirror. But we've picked it up from a place that looks suspiciously like the inside of the Shrine of Worship from Shadow of the Colossus, which is another game made by these same people. And we're gonna, you know, borrow it. In quotes. I'll definitely bring it back later. Trico has some opinions, shall we say, about this mirror. Whether he's afraid of it, he's interested in it, you know, we don't really know. He's got thoughts, though. That was for some reason extremely fast. I'm gonna have to take a look at that later. He listened like immediately. But surprise, he could shoot lightning out of his butt, so that's cool. So anywhere I shine this mirror, Trico, that was kinda garbage, bro. It's alright. Anywhere I shine this mirror, he's gonna shoot lightning out of his tail. And obviously we can use that to solve puzzles, to break things. Trico takes forever to walk down this hallway and like navigate over these buckets and stuff. As per usual, we're gonna get up to where the next checkpoint is. We're gonna reset. That's gonna teleport Trico directly to me. Right here. And we don't have to wait for him. And of course, there's nothing in the game that tells you that you've hit a checkpoint, so runners just kinda, you gotta practice, you know? You just gotta figure out where they are and then learn what triggers them. So Trico's scared of water. And don't worry, I haven't forgotten his other pet. He'll get it in a little bit. Trico's afraid of water, and I'm gonna need to tempt him down into the water with another snack. Some delicious Baja Blast in a bucket. Hey, buddy. Here you go. You coming? He's thinking about it. So despite all the flack we give for Trico being, you know, an AI who does whatever he wants, he's actually quite smart. He's the smartest of the AI companions that Fumito Ueda has created out of these Team Eco games. We're comparing, of course, Yorda from Eco, Agro the horse from Shadow of the Colossus, and Trico. He's very, very smart. And thankfully we can usually use that to our advantage as long as we understand how to talk with him. Because even though we're heartless and trying to leave him behind right here, he is going to follow us throughout the game, so... There is no being free of Trico. I say that it's heartless that we're trying to leave him behind, but of course we are running bad endings, so... That's just kind of the space that we're in today. Bad ending was originally created to make the game more accessible to people who don't have, you know, 3.5 hours to run Last Guardian. It's the price that you have to pay. You get the bad ending if you don't have time to fully play the game. This is the White Tower that Trico's looking at. He's very interested. We're gonna see that framed in the background throughout the game. As the little boy, I have no concept of why I'm in this place. I don't know how to get out. Trico doesn't seem to be able to get out either. But he's super interested in that tower and, you know, he probably maybe knows what he's doing. So we're just gonna kind of trust him and be like, okay, yep, White Tower, that's what you're interested in. Alright, I guess that's where we're going. And for the rest of the game, the goal would be to get closer to the top of that White Tower. Because, like, maybe once you get to the top, you can, like, you know, jump out of this place or something. We just want to get out of here. Of course, we're not going to go that far today. Bad ending doesn't make it to the end of the game. No, a casual player could definitely reach bad ending on their own. It's intentionally made, like, a little bit difficult. Like, you have to kind of really flub it up, right? But you could. The timer is very generous, we shall say, but hypothetically, if you couldn't figure out what to do, I suppose.
I just got a PS5 recently, and I still have yet to play this game or any Team Eco game.
Yes. It's still free, I think. Maybe they took that away? I don't remember. It used to be free.
I believe they all are right on there.
If you have, so you can play Eco emulated, if you have PS Plus for free. I don't know about Shadow, but Last Guardian for sure, like, for some reason came with the PS5 for free. Kind of a unexpected pick, I guess, but... Oh, Trico, that was beautiful, buddy! So all of that was very carefully orchestrated. We didn't want Trico to follow us very closely, because he was going to have to make this jump up into this open space. If he had followed us more closely, he would have been too close to make that jump, but then we would have had to wait for him to, like, turn around, figure out where he was supposed to go, turn around again. And obviously that would have taken time, so... He did a good job. He continues to earn his little necklace that he's wearing. So I'm gonna navigate Trico through a couple little puzzles here. Gonna blast our way through a door, use some checkpoint resets to keep teleporting him forward instead of waiting. While we do that, also, I do still owe Trico a pet. So let me just pet him specifically right here, because not very many people know if you pet Trico in a bloody spot, you could clean him up. So we'll make him feel better. Get rid of all this blood from the spear he had in his leg. So yeah, while I get Trico through all of these next little puzzles, it would be great to hear about the rescue that we're supporting and all of the stuff related to that.
Alright, fantastic. So, we are watching The Last Guardian. We have an incentive going on right now where every $10 that's donated, Trico gets another pet. So if you want to pet the good boy, you can go ahead and donate. Right now we're at $25 out of $250, so we can get up to 25 pets with Trico. We also have the Zelda Ocarina of Time randomizer. George rolls the seed. We are at 72 of $75 there. So if you want to see that get hit, all we need is $3. You can also donate $1. You get a $1 closer to that incentive. We also have the Spin Rhythm XD Sight Read Showcase at $60. We're at 0 out of $60. And we also have Sonic Generations, Play All Unleashed Day Stages. We're at 0 out of $80 for that as well. We also have some goals to go towards. We have the Digimon Battle Spirit 2 character choice. We have Takuya and Agunamon at $10, which is winning. Then we have JP and Beetlemon at $5. We have Koji and Lobomon at 0. Zoe Kazamon at 0, and Tommy and Kumamon at $0. Then for Super Mario Bros. Wonder, we have the character choice. We have Luigi and Toad at both tied at $25 each. Then we have Mario, Peach, and Daisy also at $0. So if you want to see any of those win, you can go ahead and donate. Exclamation point donate. And exclamation point incentives to see all the incentives.
Fantastic, thank you so much. Yeah, I got a couple things tied, couple things almost reached. Plus, of course, the repeatable pet Trico. So there's lots of stuff to spice things up. And Trico, he's gonna be wanting a lot of pets after after what he's going to be rushing towards here. I can't tell Trico what to do right now, but I can very strategically kind of maneuver on his head. I wanted him to jump up, but I couldn't tell him to jump up. So I got on the front of his head, kind of wiggled around on his cheek a little bit, and that encouraged him to look upwards at me. And in doing that, it kind of triggered his AI to realize that the jump was the next thing he was supposed to do. So we can manipulate his AI a little bit to do things like that, at least for right now. There's a cutscene trigger over here that I would rather he didn't step on. What are you doing, Treeks? Is that a lizard? It is. Aw, he did step on it. We just got a levitating lizard here, sure. Hey, Trico. Hey, buddy. You're okay. But him stepping on that trigger is what makes him angry. He's looking across the way at a big, like, electrified cage. We'll actually see it in just a second. And that's what made him upset. Ideally, you know, we want him to walk around that. But he is an AI who will pick his own path every time. Sometimes there's just nothing you can do about it. Baru, tell me all about it. You see his horns are a little bit broken. As we give him barrels, they will start to regrow a little bit. Rico, you are being very talkative today, dude. Meanwhile, this little boy, he's basically just a noodle. Like, he's made of jello. Don't worry about him. Anything and everything that twists and contorts him, he'll be fine. He'll break his leg and then he'll just walk it off. 5 seconds later, he's completely indestructible. Alright, takes a long time for that door to open. We're just gonna reset and then Trico will be ready to go. Thank goodness they only boarded these doors with, like, the shoddiest workmanship. If they had actually put in some effort, we would probably be stuck here. Trico, might I inquire as to what you're doing with your life, buddy? What's up? Trico. Hi. What are you doing? Oh, so we're gonna do this now? He's gonna keep tripping me. Alright, that door was the true final boss, apparently, of this game. So this is what Trico was looking at before. He was looking at this big, like, pulsing cage. He's really not a big fan of this. He really doesn't want to come down into it. But, you know, he trusts us more than he dislikes it. So, he'll hop down if we encourage him enough. And I'm standing in a very specific spot. You can see Trico is kind of oriented directly toward where I'm standing. We want it to be a straight line, as easy for Trico as possible. Yoink! To be fair, you know, he did kind of give us a warning that he didn't want to be in here, so... Kinda can't blame him. But he did eat us. That's exactly what happened. So we get this little white light screen, which you only ever get when you die. But despite that, here we are. We're somehow okay. And for those who were somehow paying, like, immaculate attention, we do have more tattoos now. We started the game with some marginal tattoos that the boy doesn't know how he got. And we have slightly more now that we have woken up.
So I'm guessing that was meant for the game to be eaten there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
There is a trophy for avoiding getting eaten there for... It's something ridiculous. It's like 3 minutes or something. It's very difficult. But in the end, yes, you must eventually get chomped in order to proceed. I mean, Trico's hungry. Can you blame him?
Well, he didn't get enough pets that people can donate towards.
He's feeling a lack of love, and he says, you know, I'm gonna just cover my hurt with food. So we got some armors here. They're not currently awake, you can tell because they're, like, tucked into themselves. These are the enemies in this game. They can't see me right now, but stepping into the light from their eyes is gonna wake them up. And the boy has essentially nothing that he can do about the armors. If they end up knocked over on the floor, he can yank their heads off, but he can't knock them over himself, so I'm basically useless in fights against armors. which means they are a big, big threat to this little boy. And over by Trico, there's this big blue door. Always, 100% of the time, when we get grabbed by armors, the first thing they're going to try to do is drag me through that door. And they're going to clutter up my screen with some sigils. And if I don't button mash fast enough, those sigils are going to stop my controls from working so that I can't get away, and they can take me through the door. Through the door is death. That's bad. We don't want to do that. It's a speed run. Ain't nobody got time for that. There's that blue door. Hey, Trico. I could use some help, buddy. So, you know, I'm just gonna kind of stand here and let Trico take care of this. Preemptively. Dude, can you, like, participate in this fight? I'm gonna grab one of these helmets. I'm gonna stick it back here. This is setting up for, you know, the aptly named helmet skip. Mech. Farewell. Hey, Treeks. Look at this. Look at this, buddy. I got a helmet in my hands. He sees another one out there, so he's a little distracted. Hey, buddy. Look at this. Look, look, look. Look, look. Trico. Every single one of their helmets ended up on the floor, which is, like, not ideal. We want their helmets to all fall off the cliff except for the one I'm holding. But, in the end, here he is. He's still upset. That's all we need. So this is the point in the game where we learn that Trico gets really angry and really scared after these fights. So we're supposed to stop and pet him and calm him down. And all of that is well and good, but it takes time, right? So, instead, we just lure him into that room with a helmet, which he very, very much dislikes. And because he hates it so much, he'll just keep swatting at it and he won't leave the room, which gives us enough time to use his body like a platform and get up into a place that we're not really supposed to be. And we skip that whole petting mechanic. I would have stopped to pet him if we had another donation, but there are some opportunities throughout where we have to pet him. And so we skip that required pet, and from here on out, we'll be able to calm him down without petting him. It was just that one time that it was going to be mandatory. Another advantage of checkpoint resetting is that as long as the fight is over, Trico will be calm when the reset is done. So sometimes it's worth it to stay there and, you know, keep calling him to get him to relax. And sometimes it's just like, nah, we gotta go. And then you just reset and he's fine. So Trico's doing a scripted event. His AI understands I need to go to this point, I need to go to this point. He's about to run. Like, that's programmed in. But he'll do this differently every time, because he's engaging actively with the world and mapping, like, what is the best route. We don't usually want to see him step on that little pillar. He decided that was the best way to go this time, but... So sometimes he can do this very quickly, sometimes he can kind of really get stuck. But he did a good job, overall. Yeah, Trico's still got some bloody spots as well. We can always pet those off. $10 to give Trico a pet. And don't forget the other incentives too as well. Okay, Trico. Let's be real, I'm not going to be angry if you mess this up, because I don't like this skip. Hey, we messed it up. Cool. That makes me happy. So we were going briefly for vine skip. Trico can smell this big jug, which smells like the barrels that he loves to eat so much. And he's going to get really distracted. He's not going to want to go anywhere until we can close this jug and stop it from smelling so good. Vine skip would have had me, again, kind of land on a place I wasn't supposed to be. Whoopsie. And end up on top of this roof, which is where I'm, you know, headed now. So we wouldn't have done the reset, we wouldn't have done this little bit on Trico. But I personally am never upset to miss Vine Skip, because once you get inside this building, if we had done Vine Skip, that jug still would have been in its starting position, which is, you know, right here. And the game doesn't want you to close it from there. So this mechanic of being able to charge into it and close it doesn't really work. Which means that usually what happens is you run into it, nothing happens, and then you fall down to the floor and you have to do it the intended way anyway. If you can get it to work, it is marginally faster, but most times you just make a fool of yourself. Right, up he goes. And we are well on our way to another scripted event. I almost just ran off the ledge to my death. You ready, Trico? Thanks, buddy. Every now and then he boosts his butt up like that when you're climbing to help you a little bit. He's being very cooperative. Now this is a wonderful opportunity to share the fact that, unlike Shadow the Colossus and Eco, I don't have a grab button. There is no button on this controller I can press to hold on. So sometimes I'll just launch the boy into Trico and he'll just slide off. Sometimes Trico will jump and he'll just zip out from under me like a surfboard. And there's nothing that I can do about it. Which, you know, makes for some interesting shenanigans depending on when that happens in a run. And we may encounter some challenges with that. I kind of expected to die in that hallway, honestly. To the boy not holding on. But you just kind of expect it. Like, it's not... Usually runners don't even get frustrated. It's just like, yeah, okay. This is just what happens. It's no big deal. If we go down and stand in the water with Trico, usually the boy will say, I thought you were afraid of water. But Trico just wants a bath. And then suddenly he gets very upset at what turns out to be, up here, another Trico who is watching us. Our Trico's not a big fan of that. Hey, buddy. I could checkpoint reset here. Based on what I saw out there of Trico, I'm just going to proceed, because I think that'll be a little faster. Now, Trico's supposed to jump up here, and we grab onto his tail. But if we time it right, we can just meet him on the way up and be right on his head where we need to be. But we didn't really talk about these eyeballs the first time we encountered one. This one's broken, thankfully, so Trico doesn't really care. But he hates these. We don't really know why. We assume, you know, lore-wise, that whoever used to live here trained the Tricos not to go in certain places by punishing them anytime they saw an eyeball, right? Just like negative conditioning. Teaching them to fear the eyeballs. So anytime Trico sees one, he's going to get real scared, he's going to refuse to move, and we need to get rid of it. Doesn't matter how, we can break it, we can, you know, hide it. As long as you can't see it, it doesn't matter. Uh-oh. Stay chill, Treeks. You got this, buddy. Whew. Alright. A little bit sketchy, but we made it. Trico's gonna take care of this fight while we proceed. Obviously, we're supposed to stay down there and help him, but we can use him to launch up onto this pillar. He's a big, strong boy. He can take care of it. And we can hear that the battle music has stopped, so he did, in fact, take care of it. And again, he's gonna... Technically, he's supposed to come in here and do this fight too. But this is one of the only fights in the game that isn't tied to a checkpoint. So... we could just skip this one. Just walk past it, reset. It's done. And here on the floor, this wooden thing is a pressure plate. We're not going to get to see it because we're going to reset the checkpoint, but Trico's going to walk on that and he's going to trigger it, which is going to slam the door down and trap his tail underneath. I got to go and save my friend here because he's stuck. A little bit of lucky RNG there, the way those guys came out of the wall. We definitely don't want to get caught, but they made that especially easy this time. Here's poor Trico with his tail stuck. Be free, buddy! Sometimes, like now, he doesn't realize that he's free. Eventually he'll figure it out. Right, Trico? Thank you. So I'm staying here to watch instead of joining him, because we really need him to finish this fight before he goes down this hallway. And if I go down this way, he's gonna want to come this way too. It'll completely mess up his AI if he comes down this hallway before he kills all those armors. He gone. Where you at, dude? Trico? He made a pit stop to the local Panera Bread. Buddy? What are you doing? Yeah, oh, it's just a spooky helmet. I get it. There he is. Break time's over, buddy. Come on.
He's like,
oh.
But Mom, I don't want to come.
I don't want to fight these soldiers anymore. They stick spears in me. Alright, well, we're gonna reset because his AI is a little bit borked right now. And hopefully that'll fix it. Now, in here, I'm gonna cheat a little bit because y'all get a pet for free in here. This is command skip. So we see these barrels over here in this this box. Trico's supposed to come in here through a one-way door and then realize that he's stuck in here and we can't get out unless he listens to what I'm telling him to do. And it takes a while for the narrator to, like, explain that all of that is happening. So usually you just have to kind of wait. But we can strategically pet Trico because this is, you know, the best speed game. We can strategically pet Trico. Or, you know, he'll just lift his head up. So, you didn't get a fake pet anyway.
But if you do want another pet, we only need $5 more for another pet, or another $10 for another pet. Doesn't matter.
That's right. I can pet Trico as many times as you give $10, up to like 250 or something. Hey, buddy. So normally, if Trico hadn't been quite so cooperative, we would have had to pet Trico, which causes him to sit down and lift his head up. And in lifting his head, right, he boosts us up to that stairway, and we skip that entire puzzle about waiting for the narrator to explain that we can tell Trico what to do, and then, like, navigating our way out with Trico. We skip the whole thing. So we call it command skip because that's when we get commands for Trico, and we are skipping the process of getting them. We do, however, still have them, so now I can... I don't want to say tell Trico what to do because, I can suggest strongly what I would like for him to do. But it's up to him if he listens.
He's an independent bird dog, okay?
That's right. You don't need no boy to tell him what to do. Alright, Splat, don't worry about me. I'm fine. We're just gonna reset and pretend that that never happened. Just like the American medical system, you just pretend that it didn't happen and then it's all better. Back. And thanks, Trico. You nearly killed me. Oh, my life flashed before my eyes. Cool.
He was excited about it too, it looked like.
Is that all I am to you, Trico? Am I just a burden? Are you just waiting for the first opportunity to bap me off a cliff? So you can see there's the blue door, once again, that those armors would have taken me to if Trico hadn't almost killed me first. And his horns are starting to regrow just a little bit. We've given him a couple barrels.
Now, if you give him more barrels, is it easier to get up onto some of these by climbing up on the horns?
So you can't usually climb up on the horns, but there is a point in the game where his horns are finally fully regrown, and that is helpful to have his horns like fully there, because it stops you from falling off of either side of his face if you're in between the horns. So there is a benefit to him having like fully regrown horns.
And that's a whole other category, isn't it? All barrels?
Yes, all barrels is a separate category, takes about 30-40 minutes longer than any percent, where we give him all 48 snacks, some of which are notoriously very difficult to locate. There's nothing quite like getting up to a barrel and then spending 13 minutes figuring out how you're gonna do it. But even just in the base any percent, like, I think it's something like 10 barrels are mandatory, so he still gets plenty of snacks. Same principle in this room, of course, except, you know, more guys. I need Chico's help. I'm on a tight timer here to get him into the room before they notice me. Now, Trico's #1 priority is me. That was nice, dude. Good job. Which is why sometimes I will choose to either get caught or to really hassle these guys and get them to follow me in such a way that Trico thinks that I'm threatened. Nice. because Trico's priority will be on me, right? So if he's not fighting, he's just kind of, you know, confused and wandering around, I can intentionally get caught in order to encourage him to restart the fight or to target a specific guy. Just whatever is strategically needed at that moment. Every time I get caught by armors, though, I do get more tattoos. That's another factor that contributes to my tattoos. So sometimes at the end of a speedrun, you can tell, like, whether somebody had kind of a rough run because they'll have, like, way more tattoos. Gotta get this out of the way. Trico ain't about that life. Also gotta appreciate Mort, who has not moved a muscle since this run started.
They lifted their head a little bit, and then went back to this.
Oh, well, you know, that was the full energy expenditure for the day. Gotta take a break. So Trico's very smart. He's gonna solve this next section on his own. I don't need to tell him what to do. And I'm not gonna tell him what to do because I could break him and really confuse him. So I'm just gonna trust, you know, Trico's little bird brain is gonna understand this. And he'll tippy tap here for a second before he fully spins around. Got a little loading bar in his brain. But realistically, Trico has actually been very good throughout this run. He has not been disobedient. He's been very quick to listen. He's done a really good job. It's times like this where if you run any percent, you kind of want to maybe grind a little bit. Because there will be like short stints where Trico's AI is like really good. And then you fall into like a cursed saga where no matter what you do, Trico is just kind of a troll. So a lot of runners will grind any percent for a couple days if they have a good Trico. And we don't know like what impacts that, right? My personal theory is that Trico's AI is kind of seed-based. Based on, like, maybe something about your console, like the clock on your console, right? And that's why it keeps changing. Because it never seems to fail that when somebody's Trico does something weird, something that we've never seen before, very shortly thereafter, other runners will start to see that happening. And then it just, like, goes away. So it feels a little bit more consistent than chance, and yet there's very obviously a lot of chance. So we don't really know. Trico is an enigma. Ouch. Thank you. That was supposed to be a fall damage cancel, but in reality it was just a shattered kneecap. But it doesn't exist anymore, so we don't need to worry about it. Hi, Trico, peeking through the window. So he's stuck behind a door. I mean, technically we both are. And I need his help to open it, because it's, like, gargantuan. This stuff, you know, Baja Blast, is the same stuff that's in the barrels that he really likes. I'm going to take this pot, and I'm going to attach it to a chain that's attached to the door. And hopefully, as Trico starts to play with it, and he starts yanking on it, he'll be yanking on the chain at the same time. And that'll open the door for me. But first... Donk. Resetting that checkpoint is going to teleport both me and this bucket a lot closer to where we want to be. So I don't have a broken leg. I don't have to carry it all the way across the room. The Trico's gonna go play with that. And it's eventually gonna open this door enough that I can get through. And we're gonna be running out of time for pets very quickly, so if anybody is interested in petting Trico, get those donations in. Because this is not the full Last Guardian. We don't have our 3.5 hours. I don't really know what this thing is. I think it's like wheels for a cart. Regardless, we're gonna shove it underneath the door so that Trico can get through.
Do they go round and round?
They do go round and round. They must be the wheels on the bus. Hey, Trico. He's distracted. He's always gonna get distracted. That's fine. We expect that. He's gonna try to charge this door. I'm preemptively telling him, hey, can you, like, not do that? Stop, buddy. Hey, stop. Focus on that. And we'll get his attention back to that jug. I just need him to pull the door open just far enough for me to stick this underneath. Sometimes RNG curses us and Trico does an extra cycle here, but he looks good. Here we go. Big pull. Big pull. Beautiful. He's super into this thing. He loves it. It took us multiple years to figure out how to get his attention off of that, and it seems so silly now that it was literally just, hey, why don't you call him? But it's more complicated than that to get his attention away from that thing. Used to be that you just had to sit there for like a minute.
So after, like, playing this game casually, does the game give you hints after a while as to what you're supposed to do to solve a puzzle, or are you just kind of like trial and error sort of situation?
It depends. So the game does have hints, sadly, because there's a trophy for hearing all of them, and that's a great way to spend 7 hours. But the hints usually aren't actually very helpful. They're very vague, except for when the solution to the puzzle is extremely obvious. And then the hints are also extremely obvious, of course. So for example, in the part earlier where Trico ate me, Trico's tail was hanging off of the side of the, like, arena, and a lot of people don't see that. That's a really common place to get stuck. They don't know where to go. The hint for that area is, I wandered around until I was sure I had explored everything. Like, yeah, you think? And that's the only hint you get. Whereas in that hallway that we just passed with the 2 eyeballs, the hint is like much more specific. It's like, I don't remember what it says, but it's like, Trico hates these things, if only we could get rid of them. And it's like, well, yeah, that one's way more obvious. So yes, you get hints, they just kind of don't matter. But Trico's also very smart, and he kind of provides his own hints. A lot of the time, if you can't solve a puzzle, he'll start looking in the direction you need to go, or he'll start like pawing at something in the environment that's important for you to interact with. Don't leave without me. Don't do it. Alright, last call for pets. This section that we're in now is where time is going to be, so we're gonna give Trico pets. We gotta do it soon. This is actually fairly close to world record pace. It's not gonna be a world record, but this was quick, so we're not gonna hit the hour 5.
What is current world record?
I think it's 55. It's held by me, I just don't remember what it was. Just as before, that thing it's attached to the platform that it's on, so once it falls, it's gonna break it. And we're standing here, it's gonna break this too. We're gonna need Trico's help. Hey, buddy. Here you go. Help. Please? Thank you. That was a little closer than maybe it should have been. His AI was a little bit slow in that calculation. Alright. We have reached the culmination of this run. Now we must wait. So Trico is on this little platform. What you're supposed to do is grab that blue jug over there, and once it's out of the way, that bar or that pole will come rolling toward Trico and he'll be able to grab it to pull himself up. But, you know, this is the bad ending. So we're not gonna save Trico, because we're bad Trico owners. This is the price that you pay for having a shorter Last Guardian category, right? If you want the good ending, you have to play the whole game. So as you can see, right, it gives you quite a bit of time to figure out like what you have to do and actually do it. Yeah, that's how the bad ending happens. You have to be so heartless to like intentionally let it happen. So time is going to be once Trico falls and the screen fades to black. I'll call it because it can be like a little ambiguous. But yeah, poor Trico, he has nowhere to go, no way to get up. And you can see it's starting to break just a little bit. And for optimization reasons, the fastest place to be is either on his back or on one of his back legs that are kind of flailing around, because he's gonna flip over when he falls. Oh, here we go. You ready for time? And time. We've let him fall. We're horrible Trico owners. And as you can see, right, we get this screen with the sigils, which means, like, that was a death, right? Because you only get this screen when the boy, like, falls to his death or something. So, I'm sorry, Trico. We're so heartless. So if you don't want bad ending for your Last Guardian run any percent, run the individual levels, run poop percent, run literally everything else, and this will not happen. So
did you say poop percent?
Yes, I did say poop percent. It's unironically the hardest Last Guardian category. But yeah, thanks for having me. I'm sorry that we had to kind of eject Trico, but don't worry. I promise that actually, if we wake up, you'll see that there's our boy. He's still here. It's all right. So, thanks for the Trico pets. We got the very special pet at the beginning, especially, and we've got a couple upcoming incentives that we only need, I think, like $3 for. We're almost there. So check those out. And I do not remember which run is coming next, but I will trust you to explain. Thanks for having me, everybody.
All right, that was a fantastic run. Bad, but fantastic. Yeah, I believe we are going to be heading into intermission, and we will get into the next run, which I believe is Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening DX. All right, everyone. Once again, we want to thank SableDragonRook for playing The Last Guardian. We are going to be setting up the next game, and while we're at it, we can talk a little bit about some of the incentives that are coming up. We are looking at the Zelda Ocarina of Time randomizer by Slow, and we are the incentive is for George to roll the seed. We are at $72 out of $75. So we only need $3 more on that. So if you want to see George roll the seed, then you can go ahead and donate towards that. $1 will help out. All $3 can help out. We are also at $343. We are only $7 away from hitting $350. Let's see if we can hit that by the end of the next run. We also have the Spin Rhythm XD Sight Read Showcase. We're at $0 out of $60, so if you want to see a sight read of that, you can go ahead and donate towards that. We also have the Sonic Generations Play All Unleashed Day Stages, and that is at $0 out of $80. So if you want to see all the day stages for Sonic Generations, you can donate towards that. We also have some bid wars going on right now. We have the character choice for Digimon Battle Spirit 2. Right now, Takuya and Agunamon are in the lead at $10. In second place, we have JP with Beetlemon at $5. Then we have Koji with Lobomon, Zoe with Kazemon, and Tommy with Kumamon at $0. So if you want to see any of those, you can donate towards those. And then we have the character choice for Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Right now, Luigi and Toadette are tied at $25. And if you want to see Mario, Peach, or Daisy, those are all at $0 as well. So when you donate, go ahead and donate towards those goals. If you're just joining us, welcome in. This is No Holidays Allowed. No Holidays Allowed is presented by No Glitches Allowed. This event is open to all kinds of speedruns and showcases that runners have to offer, not just glitchless runs. We're looking forward to showing off some amazing speedruns to watch as you bundle up by the campfire this winter. No Holidays Allowed 2023 is raising money for Go Rescue, a dog shelter in Norfolk, Virginia, where Go Rescue works to provide a haven for homeless dogs, giving them the time, care, and love they need to find not just any home, but the right home. In 2011, a local woman named Georgia Obanas lost her home, and her only focus became how to prevent her family dogs from going back to animal control. Starting out with just an empty shell of a building, Go Rescue soon became not just a place for her current rescues, but a shelter that has grown to rescue over 2,000 dogs to date with no signs of slowing down. In addition to your monetary donations, Go Rescue is also in need of supplies to keep the pups happy and healthy. They accept dry and canned dog foods, bleach, cheap paper towels, laundry detergent, furniture, and even vehicles. You can also go to GoRescueDogs.com and go to the How Can I Help tab to find their Amazon wish list. Let's help out those pups. Just a reminder that we're raising money for Go Rescue. The Go Rescue website has its own section for adoption success stories. While we get set up for the next run, please go check out GoRescueDogs.com/success stories for some adorable pictures and heartwarming tales. Next to No Holidays Allowed, we also have a couple of other events. The first is No Glitches Allowed. If you want to get involved with the next event, No Glitches Allowed 11, the event is dedicated to speedruns with very few glitches or without glitches entirely. This includes no major glitches, glitchless, and any other run that doesn't have any significant tricks or skips. If you're interested in getting involved or finding out more, make sure to join our Discord and follow us on Twitter to get updates about future events. You can hit !Discord in the chat in order to find out where that is. We also have Complete-a-thon. Several members of the No Glitches Allowed team also work on staff for Complete-a-thon, which is an event that features completionist or 100% categories. This event typically takes place in the summertime. Feel free to follow us at twitch.tv@Complete-a-thon and @Complete-a-thon on Twitter for announcements so you won't miss when our next Complete-a-thon event takes place.